For real. Say the TV stand for tracks and vocals. You know this is easier than 1, 2, 3. You are now tuned in to Just Swagg TV. Just Swagg TV.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like your jacket.
Thank you.
What's that? Music, television? That's MTV?
MTV jacket.
Hey, most people don't know anything about MTV, man. That's old school.
Old school.
Okay, what's your name?
H2H Nino.
H2H Nino.
Yes, sir.
What's that stand for? H2H.
Hand to hand.
Okay. Who gave you that name?
It was self-given. I started off like a group in college. We were starting to start like an organization called H2H Hand to Hand. Want to do like promotions and do a party group.
Okay.
The name just stuck with me as I went on. I just kept it going.
What college did you go to?
I went to Alabama State University.
Okay. What was that like?
I love my HBCU. Alabama State is great.
How do you think people feel about historically black colleges and universities?
I think people have now become more aware of the importance of going to one, attending, learning about your culture, where you come from.
How important do you think historically black colleges and universities are?
Tremendous. They're can't look for the word, but I think they're very important to society. Because you got to think about everything we create, and then we help the culture, we help mold the culture. Everything we need to learn about ourselves more than they don't teach us about ourselves in public schools. They teach you the bare minimum. But when you go to a historic black college, they teach you more about yourself.
How do you feel that? What do you think about the government taking away things like American culture or history out of schools? I mean, how do you feel they doing that? And then now they're talking about implementing it back. You know, being able to say the Pledge of Allegiance, being able to learn more about American history. Do you feel American history is important to even learn?
Yeah, I feel like all history is important to learn. You got to know where you come from, where how things went. You need to know about past situations, like you use that like just in your personal life. You need to know what you went through, where you headed. So of course we need to know about history.
Okay.
Even if it's American history, I mean, you could be like it's not the best history, and they're trying to cover up what's done.
Why go to a historically black college or university instead of going to like any other college?
Well, I'm saying if you're African American, I say it's just so you can say you know your true self. I feel like that's the only way you can really know your true self when you're surrounded by everyone who's your kind. Like we're not outcasts at our school. Everybody's the same person. Even to the other minorities or even the whites. You still come there. You learn about other people's culture. Like you need to learn about everybody. We're not the only people in this world, so we need to learn about each other. That's what's.
Do you know any other languages?
No, I'm not bilingual.
Okay. Have you ever been interested in any other language?
For a moment, I was interested in Spanish, but it was hard. That shit hard for real.
What was hard about Spanish?
I guess because you could say I was already used to learning English. Like it's trying to learn a language. I guess you could say it's difficult. It ain't the easiest thing. I put my mind to it, I could do it, but at the same time, it's just like it's too much.
You ever dated anyone outside of your race?
Have I dated? Yes.
What?
Momentarily.
What race?
She was Spanish.
Okay. What was that like? Was it just a one night stand? Was it just a moment?
About like a 3-month fling.
Okay. How'd y'all meet?
Through friends, actually. She had some friends. Her friends brought her around. And we was talking for a second.
Have you always been interested in Hispanic women?
No.
Okay.
Now, me personally, I like the berry sweet juice. That's how I got.
How do you feel when other black women look at you with another race?
Oh, I know I experienced that. I tried to date outside my race. I stay in Alabama. So I took one girl out to eat. We was at a restaurant, and I had a whole bunch of older black women. Like usually, older black women, they give a compliments to me. I'm handsome young man. Keep my head up. But this time when I went out, I felt like nothing but evil stares at me from every where I looked. From any black woman I seen that day, I felt like I got like a lot of sideways look stares.
How does that make you feel?
It didn't make me feel any type of way. It made me acknowledge what was going on. Like maybe it's because the person I'm with, because that's the only time I ever got to stare like that. Like the stares, how I was getting, like it's a problem. But yeah, I didn't feel like it was a problem with dating that person. Like it's just on you.
So you're okay with interracial relationships?
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
How does your parents feel about it?
I mean, if you bring somebody home that's probably from a different race, they probably be cool. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think they don't push it down. I ain't never heard them say, yeah, you dance outside your race. Like, they ain't never say, but they don't speak on it. It's like it's topic that's not spoken.
Have you ever had a situation where you went through a racist moment? Someone maybe called you the N-word. You've been discriminated against?
Most definitely. Like I said, I stayed in Alabama. It's actually going back. I was at work. I actually worked in a restaurant that got the evil stairs out of. I worked in the restaurant. One night we was at work. We was jam packed. I had a party of like 20, and I had 2 more tables. The whole restaurant packed out. I guess it's that black guy. He was getting into it with the bartender. He was drunk, so he was acting he was intoxicated, acting wild. So they I guess they dismissed him from the bar and told him to leave the restaurant. While he was leaving, him and the white guy exchanged words. I can't tell you the exact words, but I know they exchanged words while he was leaving. Now I come over there with the part I seen. The black guy was telling the white man, he was like, "Go ahead and say it. You look like you want to say it, so go ahead and say it." And he was real upset. I can tell you he was upset for a reason. So I'm waiting, and the white man just blurted out. He was like, "Stupid nigga." In front of, like, it's a restaurant full of black people. It's more black people than it is white people. When he said that, like, he yelled it so loud, the whole restaurant, you could hear a pin drop in the restaurant. Everybody heard it. Everybody got quiet. Then nobody talked for like the next 2-3 minutes because they trying to see it. The guy he said it to, the flower pot moved down to the counter when he was trying to pick the flower pot up and hit him with it. Picked up a cup of water and threw it up. They had to escort him out. They had to call the police to escort the white man out. But that was my first moment I experienced dealing with racism.
How do you feel when someone says it to you?
Nobody ever said it to me. My friends, people our color, my color, says it to me. Black people have said it to me. I never had anybody. Well, I'll take it back. I did have one white friend. He said it, but it wasn't like he wasn't using it in a demeaning way.
So let's talk about that. People who don't use it in a demeaning way, is it okay?
Because I let my white friend do it, I have to say yes, but no, still. Because if you look at, like, you don't know what it means to everybody. I have to say no because my mother, my father, my grandparents, everybody who had the experience, I don't know what their moments was experiencing. I lived a different life. So I became more, he was using it in a term I could understand it. And it wasn't being demeaningful. He was just venting to me. But I feel like, no, you still should use that word because we took the word and made it into something positive. But it was created out of negativity. So I don't feel like you should ever feel like you should take our positive word and use it because it started off as a negative word that you create.
Let's skip the subject a little bit. Did you pledge in college?
Nah.
Did you fraternity? No?
Nope. GDI.
Okay.
Damn individual.
Were you ever approached?
Yeah, I was approached. I was approached by two different groups.
Okay. Why not either one?
The first one, we was young. 2 of my friends, they ended up joining, but I just had to look into it myself and see what group I fit into. The group I felt like I would have fit in with, I felt like you had to kiss too much ass. Or I would have had a person, like, I'm not like a kiss ass person. That's also why I enjoy fraternity. I feel like it's more like, even though like it's a brotherhood, more benefits to come out of it. I feel like in the beginning process, it's like too much kiss ass for me. And my pride got in the way for me joining fraternity, like I said.
What was some of the things that you were interested in college?
Music, to be honest with you.
Okay,
that's what I started.
Choir or a band?
I would just hang around the band students and I'd hang around the students who did recording technology. That's how I started getting in music.
When did you first learn that you were an artist?
2017.
And how was it? What happened?
Well, me and my friend, we used to sit in the car. This when I was going to AUM. We'd be riding around the campus. We'd find a spot to go smoke at. And I always like listening to music and playing beats. So I would play a beat and he knew how to rap good, freestyle. So I like to hear people freestyle. So I would play a beat and let him freestyle. And when he couldn't catch the beat no more, I'd come up like with a hook to the beat. And be like, okay, you freestyle the hook, I come up with it. And then I kept playing with it. They kept saying, well, you might well say a whole verse, you got a hook, you know how to spit hooks. And I just kept playing around with it, so I wrote my first hook. It took me about like 2 weeks to write my first hook, but once I got that first hook, it was like, from then on, I felt like I was supposed to be an artist.
What was your first performance?
First performance was in Alabama, right outside Opelika. Actually, my first performance was this year.
Were you scared?
I was nervous all the way till I touched the stage. That's what let me know I wanted to be a rapper. When they put the mic in my hand and I finally walked on stage, I wasn't scared. Because I was like, I'm here. You either accept me or you don't. It was just like, A lot of people tell me I'm like, oh, I'm nonchalant. I be nervous, but I don't show it. But when I hit the stage for the first time, they were like, I was not nervous at all. I looked nonchalant. I was.
By yourself?
I had a group with me. I was the only person on stage. It was me, one other guy on stage. I wasn't on stage by myself. I had my little support in the background. But the first time I had to go on stage by myself to make sure it was for me.
Who were some of the rappers you looked up to?
Rappers growing up, my biggest rapper I looked up, biggest influence had to be Biggie Smalls. Then I got 50 Cent. I like all the old school rappers. I really like all the old school rappers. But you got Biggie Smalls, 50 Cent, 2 Chainz. As far as growing up, I like Lil Wayne. I wasn't on the Lil Wayne bandwagon as much as anybody else, but I like him. That's mostly it though, because I'm still excited to go listen to him.
What was it about those particular rappers that helped create your style?
Well, with Biggie rapping about living a good life, I think that's like he had me dream. Like I know I can get somewhere. I can be more than where I am. You know, you can go from dirt to riches. You just gotta work at it. So that's why I like. And then he was like a player. Like even though I didn't look at it like he was big and ugly or whatever how people describe it. I just looked like I heard his music. I didn't even look at his image. So I'm like, okay, you're a player type guy. You get a lot of females. Like then 50 Cent. Like that's when I got older. I started liking more. I like the 50 Cent because I heard his struggle. He still talk rah-rah. And then he's still like on player. Like I like all type of like player type music. You can say that's how what more of my music.
How do you feel about people who rap about lives that they don't live?
Oh, you talking about that? I mean, that's on you. That's if you want to do that. I feel like you gotta be able to take what come with it though, because if you start capping, you know, if you like, I just want to say I'm the type of person like I rap whatever I say on track, I stand behind it. And that's me. But I feel like if you gonna rap about it, you gotta be able to stand on that. Cause somebody gonna come try you. Somebody that's what somebody want to do. They want to see what you about. And you rapping saying you doing this and the third, they want to see that. You say you got a lot of bowls, you sell a lot of weed, whatever you doing, they want to see that. So somebody gonna come back on your door trying to check that. You say you're the hardest nigga out here, and they want to see that. Somebody gonna try, cause they think they the hardest nigga out here. So you just gotta go. Watch. Do
you feel like people take that as an easy route to get into the industry?
Yeah. Cause a lot of people, like you gotta realize, a lot of people want to be the hardest nigga. Or a lot of people want to be this, that, and the third, but they not that. But it's just like they still sit there and dream about it. So that's why a lot of people rap about it. A lot of people want to be dope boys. They don't want to be, you know, the low grade dope boy. You want to be a successful dope boy with all this money. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it.
Do you want to be signed?
Do I want to be signed? Yes and no.
Why not? Or why so?
The reason why I say yes, because that's where the money coming in at. Like, you know, even though, like, you know, they say it's pros and cons to everything. It's pros to being independent, it's cons to being independent. It's pros to being signed, it's cons to being signed. But I feel like, you know, you got more opportunities. A lot more doors can be opened up if you sign under a label. You can get access to a lot of things. If you're smart, you can buy yourself out of it. The reason why I say no, because I want to be able to say I actually created all this on my own, out the money. I want to be independent. I want to be like, yeah, I built this on the ground. I want to be. But even if I sign it, still I built this. I just need. I took help along the way, but it's still I built it. So you can't never take that from me.
What type of projects have you been working on?
My most recent project has been called Big Nino. He's coming out soon. A lot of people waiting on it. I dropped my last project in November or October. Called Just Listen. It's my first mixtape. First anything I dropped 10 songs.
And what was it about? What was the music geared towards? What type of demographic of people were you talking to?
We were talking to everybody. I just wanted everybody to listen. I wanted my reason for name my mixtape Just Listen and dropping it like that out the blue because I wanted people like it was just me stepping out on the scene. Like, hey, I rap now. Didn't nobody know I rap. Didn't nobody know I was working it. I had worked hard at it. So I'm okay to put all this out here. I want y'all to just listen to it. I made it versatile. If you listen to the mixtape from the beginning, I started off hype and about 4 or 5 songs in there. That's when I turn over to the other side. I get more copacetic beats. So I just want to show my versatility. Now my new project, Big Nino, was like Like I said, you say it's more like a turn-on project. I got another project I'm working on. It's more heartfelt project where I speak my real. It just depends. I just want to show you my first project that I dropped. I was showing everybody who I am. Like, just me, I'm rapping.
Anybody you work with this on these projects?
Yeah. Actually, my best friend, the guy who actually started me with rapping, KO Spoon. And y'all can find our music all on, we all across all major platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. But me and him started rapping. We actually started the group together. We actually kept the name H2H, called H2H Music. He got his own. He dropped more projects than me. I actually went to jail in 2018 for a year, so that kind of held me back from dropping. But he been dropping. He dropped way more projects. Got way more music than me out right now.
Are you gonna vote?
Am I gonna vote? Yes. Who am I voting for? I don't know. It's looking hard right now. You know, I want to be like, you know, Trump put all his money in the pockets, but he still messed up. And he talked to him. He's not acting professional enough to be the president. You know, some things you just shouldn't do. Because it's like, okay, it's like with us being black. Certain things they won't allow us to do or accept us doing because of our skin color. If we was in office and if Barack Obama was doing everything Trump did, even half of it, a quarter of it, in his first year, they would have impeached him. Be like, we gotta get you out of office. Trump did all he wanted to do, said all he wanted to say. But like you already expected this from him starting off. Because the first time we heard what he said, I grab him by the pussy. You heard that in the first debate. They brought that up. And we still put him in office. I already knew what to expect. But now it's like, now you got to choose between two of the lesser evils because we don't know what Biden on. He's saying one thing, but you can't be like, I ain't like his comment about if you don't vote for me, you're not black. I ain't like that comment. Because how can you tell me to vote for him when I'm black?
So how do you feel about that when they say most black people are Democratic? That's the Democratic. Democrat is black. And Republican is white.
That's what they try to press on people. See, when I had a younger man, when I was young, I used to run around like, oh, I'm part of the Democratic Party because that's what I was told. I was like, oh, Democrat, because I was told they stood for poor people. I'm not, but I was like, you got to do your research on that. You know, you got to see, each party represents something different. But at the same time, people in the party might represent what they might represent something different from what their party represents. They can say Democrats stand for blacks, but does each Democrat in that party stand for a black person? It's the most important question I do.
How do you think politics influence hip hop? Or how do you think hip hop influences politics?
It depends. I feel like I don't know, because it's like right now I don't feel like hip hop has too much impact on politics. I feel like politics impact hip hop the most. Because you pay attention, like you got Irish from Atlanta, like here from Atlanta, Lil Baby. He dropped his Black Lives Matter song. You got many artists out there dropping Black Lives Matter song, started a movement. And everybody could be like, you know, you gotta do something to start something to make it go, but we still ain't, we getting somewhere, but we're not getting nowhere. So at that time, people still dying, getting shot by police officers. And politics. Stop doing that. The reason why I say politics, the reason why we speaking up against it, because politics aren't doing nothing for us. That's why I say politics are making us move our hand in hip hop, making hip hop move their hand. You could say.
Do you think communities will get the help that they need to get back on point, to get back to a unified community, to get back to it takes a village to raise a child?
No. Me personally, no. I don't feel like that. I feel like things can get better, but I don't necessarily never see unity because we still like, okay, you go back to the Black Lives Matter, like we can still and say that all day, but you still have blacks killing blacks. You still have blacks out here doing wrong. Like, you know, I can be like, oh yeah, this is my brother, and then 5 minutes later, he might turn around and do something to me because he felt some type of way about something I said to him, or he felt like I did something to him. You know, no. Until you gotta get yourself unified first before you think you're gonna get everything unified. The reason why they're able to attack us is because we're not unified. If we was already unified, they wouldn't be able to attack us the way they do.
Have you had any situations where you showed unity or leadership?
Go ahead.
For example?
I show unity. I feel like every day I get up, I try to be a leader, and I try to get people to go the right way. a need. Anyway, though, it's not like I don't feel like unity is like when you're showing unity. I feel like you gotta do that at all times. You can't pick and choose when you're gonna be a leader. You gotta set the path. If ain't nobody, even when nobody follow, and then you also gotta know how to follow when it's not your time to lead.
What was it like growing up in your household?
Oh, I got like 7 different stories. I mean, it depends on what part of my life. Like,
give me one that was actually it was a discipline. Was it strenuous? Was it loving? Was it caring? Was it Sunday meals every Sunday?
But that's what I'm saying. I experienced all that.
Okay.
I experienced everything in my household. That was how I even grew up in 2-3 different households. Starting off, I started off with my grandmama. Then I got to my older childhood. I was with my father. I was with my father almost majority of all my life. Stayed with my mama at the point of time. So it was like I experienced different things. That's why I try to make my music versatile. And I feel like I'm a versatile person. I feel like I can fit in anywhere, just because I went to almost every environment and fit in. I had to go to every environment and adapt. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I experienced it. I experienced the love. I experienced the stress, the struggle. I experienced everything.
H2H Nino, I want to thank you for coming to Just Swagg's TV, The Block. Last thing I want to ask you, what would you tell your younger you?
Don't ever let them tell you can't. Keep going. I won't tell you nothing different. I went through it. Everything I went through, I make myself go through it again because it made me go down. So if I had to sit there and tell them, I'd tell them like I can't tell you nothing about the future. You just gotta keep going. Don't give up on yourself.
All right, man. H2H Nino, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Tell everybody where to follow you, where to book you.
Look, you can follow me on Instagram at H2H Nino, on Twitter at H2H Nino. You can follow me on Facebook at Marcus Jones. You can book me through H2H Nino. You know?
Where can I go download your music?
I'm on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube. All you gotta do is type in H2H Nino. I'm popping up everywhere. I'm on your Instagram story, your Facebook story. I'm everywhere.
What single should they look for?
My latest single, Mobile. Go check that out.
All right, what is that one about?
Me and my friend again, KO Spoon, we on there. We just rapping. We just talking. We popping our shit on that. That's it.
All right, man. H2H Nino, thank you so much, man. Just Swagg's TV, The Block.
Thank you. It's your boy H2H Nino. I just tapped in with Just Swagg TV, The Block. Tapping in with me on Instagram and Twitter, H2H Nino. Go check out my new single on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, Mobile, with featuring me and KO Spoon.
Swagg, swag, 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 swag. Yeah. Just Swagg TV.